You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to episode 5 of the What Knitting Taught Me podcast. My name's Caleb, and I'm so glad you're here.
And my name's Bonnie, but you can call me Mom. And look, we're in the same location. So exciting.
In Kansas City.
Yes.
Why are we here? Why are we together?
We are, you know, when you get adult children and then adult children get married, you have to work around everybody else's schedule for Christmas. So we celebrated our family Christmas with all 3 of our boys and Madison, my daughter-in-law, and we were all together here in Kansas City today, and it was a great day.
Yep, it was. So we're sitting in front of the Christmas tree, and we're using one of my Christmas gifts. Mom got me a tripod with a ring light. So
we're hoping that we have really good, clear color for you, and yeah.
It's actually really cool because we're sitting in the dark with just this ring light, and it looks really great.
Yeah, it's the best we've had so far, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like we're off center.
Does it matter?
I guess not. Maybe if I sat up a little more. I don't know. All right. Well, like I said, my name's Caleb. On Instagram, I'm Caleb9513. That's really the most active place that I am for knitty things. And what about you?
And you can find me, Facebook is really probably where I'm most active. However, Instagram, Bonnie Austin 1. No?
Austin Bonnie 1.
Austin Bonnie 1, sorry.
She'll get it one day.
I will. I just go on and click the button and look. I don't even know who I am.
All right. Well, how do we start this thing?
Oh, we usually start with faux, yeah.
You've got some faux.
I've got some faux. Just a little story behind this. Last Christmas, I had really just started my knitting adventure. And so I knit a couple of baby hats for some fairly new, let me see, this would be great niece and nephew. My great niece and nephew. So they got their hats last year, and about a month ago I got a text from Wendy, their mom, or the little guy's, Colin's mom, and she said, hat doesn't fit Colin anymore, but now it fits Ben. And Ben is probably 6 months old, maybe. And so she sent a picture of Ben in the hat. And I thought, well, Colin needs a hat. I mean, Colin needs a hat. So I dug through my yarn and found some bulky. And I thought, you know, I've never made a bulky hat before, but they say it goes really fast. So I'm gonna make Colin a stocking cap out of this bulky yarn. So I made it like in a day, got it in the mail to him, and about a week later, get another text from Wendy with a picture of Colin, all excited to be in his hat, but the problem is it was too short and too small. So his poor little ears weren't covered.
They live in Pennsylvania.
That's right, he needs his ears covered. So I decided I needed to do better than that. So I went and got some different yarn with a little bit more give to it, and knit up a hat for Colin. On this, it has ribbing, and then it has some garter stitch, and then it went to, what's it called? Moss stitch.
Get closer, probably.
Okay. And then there's some, when we started the decreases, we decreased in garter and then ended up decreasing in moss. So I thought it turned out pretty cute.
It is cute, and it's an alpaca blend. I can tell. I don't know if you can tell, if you can see the halo on it, but it is definitely an alpaca blend.
Yeah, and then I had enough to do mittens.
Those are precious.
Yes, my first child mittens. So that was fun. This pattern also was predominantly garter. And don't look too close because there's some mistakes in it. But they're soft and they're kind of lightweight So I think they'll be good. They're not gonna be great snowman building mittens because snow's gonna come through it and he's gonna get cold, but they're great jump in the car to go to the babysitter mittens. So anyway, I wanted to wait to mail these until I showed you. So I actually have the envelope all ready to go. I will get those in the mail hopefully tomorrow before I leave Kansas City, and they'll be on their way to Pennsylvania.
And they'll get there 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, 3 weeks from now because of Christmas. But oh well, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's my only finished object because we were busy knitting for Christmas and trying to get things finished up for that. So,
well, I have a finished object.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you all can tell, but I finished my Montrealer. And this is my Montrealer sweater by Designs by Dells, Vincent. It has the hood and everything. And yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I knit this out of Rosa Pomar Retrosaria Mungo in the Avela colorway. And this is a 50% recycled cotton, recycled wool yarn, and it's great. It's not too heavy. It is warm. I mean, I'm very warm right now. And the fabric, I like the fabric. I have not washed this yet, so it will only get softer. The cotton bits do have some vegetable matter in it, so I can feel those every so often. But yeah, and excuse me, I modified this pattern, not quite a bit. I used most of the numbers. Stylistically, I modified it, I guess. So all of the finishing edges I chose to do in garter stitch, which I doubt you'll be able to see. But I just thought it went with the vibe more. You know, we're going for that Franciscan monk look, so we're keeping it simple. Same thing on the hood. The hood called for like a wrapped channel so that you can put in a drawstring. I'm not ever gonna tighten my thing because I'll get benout, and I don't wanna do that. So,
do you need to explain benout?
Benout is I don't know if it's an actual Dutch word.
It is a Dutch word.
But is it like in the lexicon of Dutch, or is it like an Old Dutch slang word?
That I don't know.
I think it's an Old Dutch slang word that means like claustrophobic.
And my dad used to, he hated when things got benout. He just, I mean, you would, when the boys were tiny, you know, you'd bring them over in the car seat and you'd have the blanket over them, you know, oh, get that blanket off their face because they're gonna get benout. So.
Yeah, and it's something that I have inherited. So. I also chose to omit the pocket, mainly because it wasn't proportioned super well for the size of the garment. So it would look kind of, I mean, it would probably be about this big on the whole garment. So that's, do you hear Jonathan singing? Yeah. Can you all hear Jonathan singing?
Probably not. He's in the other room, my youngest son, and he got a new pair of headphones today, and he's, yeah, doesn't hear any of us, but we can hear him singing.
Yeah. So this is my Montrealer. Mom wore it this morning. I
did. I was up early this morning and was cold, and it was laying here by the table, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna put that on, and it was nice.
It looked like nice on you.
It did.
Like it looked nice and relaxed. Yep. So I think you're gonna have to knit one.
I got so many to knit. I got so much to knit.
I know. Should someone tell him that we're podcasting?
No. I don't think you can probably hear him much.
If you can. And just enjoy it. It's Christmas. All right. Works in progress. What do you got going?
Well, I decided to try something totally different. After I had finished up, I think, a set of socks, I was like, I want to do something very different. And I have a couple of skeins of this yarn, and I hate to tell you, but I forgot to bring the wrapper, so I can't tell you exactly the brand name.
I think it's Bernat Baby something.
Okay. I know I got it at like a Michael's. And it's
polyester.
Yeah, it's totally polyester. It's their velvet, so it's really, really soft. And obviously you can see it does some color changing. And so what I decided I wanted to do was I wanted to make a baby blanket. So I've got a pretty good start. And the color in the yarn, I mean, I'm not stopping at an end anywhere and changing colors. I'm just, as it comes up and changes, we change. And
yeah, and I don't know if you can tell on the screen, you kind of can right here, but there's like a basket weave pattern going on with some garter ridges. Maybe in the darker you can see it better. Nope, that made it worse. But it's really cool, and it is a soft blanket.
Yeah. So I just, you know, it's one of those that don't have to do a whole lot of thinking, and I'm doing it on a, boy, I'm not gonna be able to tell you what size, 7 maybe?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am?
Size 7 maybe? That's the size of my pinky.
No, it's not. Here, I can tell you. Because I can tell you which one's missing.
I got it, size 10.5.
Oh.
Size 7.
Okay, so I'm not good at that yet. Yeah, both my 10s and my 10.5s are missing, so it's one of those two.
It's the 10.5.
I wonder where my other one, oh, my other one's still in that hat. Okay.
Which hat?
Yeah. I started another bulky hat,
Oh.
and yeah, didn't like it, so I'm gonna rip it apart. But those are still in there. So anyway, that's a work in progress that I'm working on. And I think I'm about a third of the way on this. There's a certain pattern repeat with the stitches in the basket weave, and I think you have to do that repeat 6 times. I think I just started the 3rd. So, yep, that's what that is.
Very good. All right, well, I only have one whip that I'm really working on. I have a couple pairs of socks that just need their mate. But other than that, I was working hard on Christmas knitting in this. I also have a couple of commissions. I'm waiting on yarn for sweaters, but you'll see that here when it gets here. So I'm not casting anything huge on for me, which is different for me for Christmas because I usually cast on a sweater on Christmas Day. 2 years ago, it was my So Faded sweater, or no, my Cozy Comfort Cardi, I don't know, the green and orange one. And then last year it was my Winterfjell. So I'm not gonna have one that I'm gonna cast on for myself this year. But that gives me an opportunity to work with the stash that I have, like find patterns for hats, cowls, socks. I'm probably gonna knit a lot of socks and hats, you'll see. But, so in that vein, I cast on a hat, and this is using leftover yarns. So this is Stephen West's Hyber Knitting. It's out of his Hyber Knitting collection, which I believe is like an Aran and mohair collection that he's put out. And I loved most of the patterns in there. I think it's 6 patterns, and I liked all of them except for the shawls. And that's just because I don't wear shawls. So, but yeah. So this yarn is the Mungo, held with, for right now, some leftover West Yorkshire spinners for that pair of socks that I knit for Bruce. And I'm really liking like the subtle stripes of this. But this is gonna run out eventually for the length of the hat. This is a 1x1 brim that's folded, so I had to do 6 inches of 1x1 ribbing.
Oh, so you're gonna fold it.
Yeah, that's why it's so good. And actually, like, it's cool the way that it's made because the majority of it, like this is the majority of the hat. You know what I mean? So you're only doing a little bit of detailing, and then you're not folding it in half, you're only folding it about to there. So I've already done a good chunk of the hat. But when that West Yorkshire Spinners runs out, I just have some drop sfobble in the white that'll hold with it to finish it out. This hat has some cool texture in it that I'm a little afraid that you're not going to be able to see in the yarn. I mean, I haven't started it yet.
I think you'll be able to.
I haven't started the texture pattern yet. Well, I just started it. So, we'll see. But, yeah, using up what I have.
Yeah. Now, I had a pattern that I bought. I'm trying to think. I think this was the baby sweater pattern that I bought. And it's written for an Aran weight. But I don't have any Aran weight yarn. I have some DK that I would like to use for a baby sweater.
I would just hold that DK double. I mean, you're just going to have to check your gauge. Okay. Like, really knit a swatch, see what kind of gauge you're getting, if you're getting the same gauge that the pattern calls for.
So maybe a DK double or a DK and a fingering held together.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a light worsted and a fingering, and I don't know that I'm getting gauge. I didn't check, but it looks fine. And it's a hat. So.
Yep.
And then when this is done, it'll probably go into a box of to be gifted at some point, maybe. So yeah.
Very good.
A hybrid knitting hat.
Yeah, I noticed that pattern right away too. I really liked it. I like the textures in the top part of the hat.
I have some orange fingering weight and some like minty teal fingering weight that I can hold double, and I think hold like a mohair with it and make one or two. So before I come home or go to your house, I'm going to stop by Yarn Social and see if they have an orange and a minty teal mohair.
That'd be cool.
And then I'll pick one of those for myself, probably the orange one.
Yeah. You have your other orange hat that you just finished.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm in an orange mood, I guess.
In an orange mood.
But that one's like an asshole orange, like a construction cone orange. The other hat that I just finished is more like a nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have one other whip, and that is, I'm starting another pair of socks for myself. This yarn is from To The Max out of Canada. I love Mackenzie's yarns, and I love this color. Oh, she doesn't have the colorway written on here. They don't have the colorway written on here, do they?
You usually don't.
Usually don't. I just got it the other day. Fingering weight sock set. Yeah, it's an 80-20, but not the colorway. But if you're not familiar with Mackenzie at To The Max Yarns, she's on Etsy.
Hey.
And love, 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 love their yarn. This is the wound up ball. Isn't that pretty? I'm a purple person, and so often you get light purples, but she just has a really rich. They have a really rich dark purple in this one, and then it had a contrasting gray for the sock set, a little gray mini. Went with it.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just do ribbing and toes in the gray, and
well, considering you already started your heel flap in the purple.
yeah, well, but I planned that. I planned that. See, so that's what I'm going. Got my heel flap started. Actually, pretty far on it. What I decided to do this time is it's a 2x2 rib, but then I'm doing a 5x3 ribbing pattern through the leg. I like a little bit of stretch to my sock, and I just think that'll look nice.
Yeah.
So, work in progress.
Mackenzie, if you'd like to sponsor us.
We've bought lots of yarn.
And we talk about you constantly.
Yes, we do.
They have a really good sale in their shop right now. Their shop is a little sparse at the moment.
Yeah.
But they do have a really good sale in there right now.
Yeah. Well, that jumps into that.
It does. You forgot yours.
I will go get mine.
Okay.
You start that.
So to merge into acquisitions. Now, if you're not in a place to look at, not I mean, this can be excessive. So, especially around this time. So we're cognizant of that and we respect that. If you want to pop off, you were here for the finished objects and the whips. Thank you for coming by. You can fast forward probably about 10-15 minutes to where we talk about what we're reading and watching. Or if you want to pop out, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming. So, Mom did that thing where she texted me and said, hey, can you pick out a couple of skeins from Mackenzie shop? And I said, well, of course I can. So I ended up getting 2 skeins for Christmas. This one I know is called Holly Jolly. And I loved it. It's pretty, I liked it. And those will be socks for me. Maybe this is what I cast on Christmas Day for myself. Some Holly Jolly socks. And then this one actually has the name on it, but this is the PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte sock kit. Is he okay?
I think so.
Did you all hear that? Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, PSL. That would be a nice, I mean, it's not quite as construction orange as I would like for that. I mean, that other skein is like safety cone. So yeah, To The Max yarns. Do you want to show the yarns that you got?
Yeah, Caleb surprised me with some yarn as well. And I have not even explored it a whole lot yet. You got it? This is Stranded Dye Works.
On the BFL Massam base.
Okay.
So it's 75% non-superwash BFL, 25% Massam.
And this colorway is called Earl Grey. I think that's interesting because, okay, see now right there, it looks really gray. When I opened it this afternoon, there was like a purple hue to it.
Yeah, it's a purpley gray. Like right there is a good color representation of it, I think.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean...
Or like right here next to me.
It looks very different. I mean, it does, it looks totally gray in this light, but it did not look totally gray when I saw it this afternoon. Anyway, got me a sweaters quantity of fingering weight yarn, so...
Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. He had it in his stash, but that's okay.
Circular economy.
That's right.
Reduce, reuse, regift.
Yeah, and then he gave me a pom-pom. Oh, it's been fun. I've been making hats with great big pom-poms lately.
I just liked that one.
Yeah,
it gave me some Barney vibes.
Uh-huh. So just do a purple hat. That could be fun.
Ooh, or it would even look nice. It would look cool on that mint.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to knit the mint one?
I don't know.
I'll wind up the yarn and bring it.
I don't know. I'll think about it. And then I got a cool bag. Isn't that cool? And this is called Splash Fabric because it's like water resistant.
Yeah, it's a cotton fabric that's been treated. So that it...
Not your grandma's oilcloth.
Yeah. The pom-pom in the bag came from Yarn Social. Love them.
Laminated cotton.
Yeah.
Very cool. Plus it's reversible. So you got this side or this side. I like them both.
I like that side.
This one? Anyway. So some more yarn to do. I've got actually 2 sweater quantities at home that I think I'm getting ready to start my
Love Note?
Love Note will be my next sweater or my next big thing to put on the needles. So I think once I get, well, I think I might do that once I get home because now that I have Colin's stuff done, this blanket can be a good take it on the road because you don't have to think a whole lot about it. And it's always good to just have a sock going. So probably Love Note will happen pretty soon here.
Yay! So in this same package that Mom got me was some Grocery Girl goodies. So we love watching the Grocery Girls. So I, of course, my mom knows me. She got me a Muffy tote. Muffy the Beaver. We had to explain Muffy the Beaver. When I opened this gift, the rest of our family was kind of like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
But
you got yarn and a bag.
But they thought Muffy the Beaver was funny.
Yes.
Then I also received some Wild in the Woods natural wool wash, water, natural lanolin, pure Castile soap, and essential oils, no rinse, which is in the Grocery Girl shop. I haven't even smelled it yet. And then these, if you've been watching the Grocery Girls, Tracy.
Or some of their favorite things.
Yeah, Tracy went nutso over this company. It's called Thread and Maple, and they're a leatherworking company in Canada. And this is, I'm gonna call it a sidekick. I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but there are these crescent-shaped pouches where you can have some embroidery needles and your snips, and there's some stitch markers in the pouch as well, but then it's magnetized so you can throw it in your bag.
Yeah. And it's just a beautiful leather case. Yeah, I loved it. Of course, I bought one for myself too, but got one for Caleb for Christmas.
And then she also got me another just spare needle minder to have in my ballet tray next to my
yeah, and here again, the nice thing about this is there's a magnet in there. So, you know, when you're tying up ends or you lay that needle down, and how often don't you lose it, right? But this, if you just even don't put it away, you just toss it, it's got a magnet in it, and it'll hold that needle for you.
Yep. So I'm very grateful for the Yarny gifts. I'm glad that I have a knitter in my folds now, who understands my necessities when it comes to
knitting.
The gifting needs.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Do you want to come make an appearance? Oh, you look fine. This is Bruce.
I got socks for Christmas.
You actually got several pairs of socks for
They're
Christmas.
lovely, yes.
2 hand knit pairs and a novelty pair.
Yeah.
I'm a sock guy.
Yeah. Yeah. His drawer of socks is so full that I've been going through and gradually. Anything that has a little bit of a hole in it, out it goes.
I like socks. Never run out of socks.
Which is good. He has small feet. I don't wear socks, but I like knitting socks.
Works pretty good.
Yeah.
And here's my tip. Whenever your socks get a hole in them, don't throw them away. Get a plain flower pot and put your sock over it, and then you can have a decorated flower pot.
We do have those too. Little flower pots with socks over them. Yeah.
They're cute.
They're cute. You've not seen those?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Brucey. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course.
All right. So, those are the acquisitions.
Yep. So what have you been watching or reading, or what have you learned from knitting this?
Well, let's do
week?
watching and reading.
Okay.
Reading, I finished my 2020 Goodreads challenge.
Congratulations!
And that's even with giving myself the permission to quit reading books. That's something I'm trying to do. The last book that I read was Becoming by Michelle Obama on audiobook, and it was lovely.
Love that book.
It's very good. And it's in preparation because I also got Barack Obama's book, The Promised Land, I think is what it's called, on audio to listen to here in the next, as I drive to and from Western Kansas. Right now, I am listening to on audio, what's it called? I think it's called The Last One by Alexandra Olive. And it's also very good. It's it's about a woman who was on a survivalist show, and she gets kind of separated from the group at some point, and aptly a pandemic happens that kills basically everyone, and she doesn't realize it, and she thinks she's still on the show, and she's like, huh, this is getting really hard. Better be worth $1 million. So it's pretty good. It's a fast listen for me. It's one of those that I kind of listen in and out of. I'm not always actively listening, but it's pretty good. And I've been really utilizing the KC Public Library, and I wanted to read it on Kindle, but you only had the audiobook available. So tip, use the public library, because if you don't like something, you don't feel bad for buying it.
Sure.
But I also am like getting this like sense of books do no good for people if they're sitting on a shelf of one person. So I'm gonna start looking for little free libraries around the city and popping books in there.
Sounds like a plan.
What about you? Oh, and then what I've been watching, I started watching Big Mouth. I'm almost done with season 2. I made my parents watch a couple of episodes of Big Mouth. What'd you think of Big Mouth? For those of you who don't know, Big Mouth is like an adult cartoon show about middle schoolers going through puberty.
Yeah. I mean, funny.
Hilarious.
It is funny.
Inappropriate.
It's not your mama's TV show.
But you liked it.
I did. I liked it. And, I mean, it's very...
crude.
It's crude. I mean, and it's not something that we grew up watching or talking about, but it was funny.
But isn't it nice that, like, I mean, we were talking about, like, who would show that to children, but I think it puts it at a level, because it's stupid. My friend Ryan described it as stupid boy humor, and it is. And I think that is a really good, accessible entry point for middle schoolers, because that's what they think is funny.
Exactly, and you're talking about things that they talk about. So,
yeah. And things that they need to know because it's happening to their bodies.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for sex positivity and knowing about your body.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm watching Big Mouth.
Yeah. Well, we started the series Ozark on Netflix, and I mean, it's kind of sucks you in. We're about in the middle, I think, of season 2, and it's good. It's sometimes really gory, but yeah, it's a good. Hey, we got an hour. Let's watch this while I knit, kind of show. So that's been good. Also finished, and Caleb has it in hardback, so I went and got it. Transcendent Kingdom by Gacy. Okay. I really enjoyed it. It was not totally what I expected. I think I was expecting more of a story, shall I say? And even though it definitely had a plot to it, there was some pretty deep insights as well. And it's about an immigrant family who came from Ghana.
And it's like right after 9/11, right? Or like it's right, the financial crisis of the 2008 housing bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, it's good, and in times it gets pretty deep. I listened to it as an audiobook as I drove back and forth to one of my mentoring sites these past couple of weeks, and good book. I would definitely recommend it.
Good book.
Good book.
Who is that does that?
I don't know.
Good book. Good show. Good song. I don't know who it is.
I don't So.
Yeah. Okay. So what has knitting taught you this week?
Well, one of the things I think came back to this, and that was knitting gave me a lot of joy to make this. And I mean, I can hardly wait to get it in the mail and get it to Colin. And, you know, it's a gift that's totally unexpected. You know what I mean? And yet I know he'll be absolutely delighted. Wendy actually told me after I said, oh no, the other hat that I sent wasn't big enough. She said, well, just so that you know, he's not taking it off. He wants to wait until he gets to his babysitter to show him. So, you know, this was just one of those objects that just brought me a lot of joy to be able to put together and get it off in the mail.
Mm-hmm. And I think with this, I learned that it's okay to take a break and come back when you're ready. So when I started this, it was the beginning of October, so we had just had Grandma's funeral, and so I knit the body, knit the half of the hood, and when I started the second half of the hood was the day that I had a pretty crappy day at work and had a doctor's appointment that didn't go as well. I'm okay, but it wasn't a fun doctor's appointment. And so I quit working on it just because it was just like, I'm not gonna do this. But then I got some other smaller things off my needles, gave myself time to process and reflect, and then took 3 days, finished the second half of the hood, sewed it up, and knit the other sleeve.
Yeah, it sat with one sleeve for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And half of a hood.
And half a hood.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it was okay to take a break and come back to it.
Totally is.
So, we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season.
Yes.
For our friends who celebrate Hanukkah, happy belated Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy solstice, I think that's coming up. Or maybe that's already happened. And then Kwanzaa starts the day after Christmas, so if you celebrate that as well, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful celebration, even if it's from afar. I am going back to Dodge City. Personally, for me, for my health, I'm still able to work from home, and my district has, I've gratefully received a lot of support from my district if I do get sick and need to take time off. So that's cost benefit analysis.